Welcome to Section 5 of the BJCP Tasting Exam Preparation course from the Brewers Anonymous Homebrew Club. In this section, we're going to be discussing master level descriptions. We're going to start off with Lesson 1, Master Level Descriptions Defined, because this is a term used in the BJCP grading program for our exam. This is a level of description that we can achieve, and if we do, we'll maximize our points. And we'll talk about that. So let's get into this right now and talk a little more about that. And we'll start off with our disclaimer. This episode in this series is not affiliated with, nor endorsed or checked by the BJCP, the AHA, or any other organizations discussed in any episode of this series. All right. Master level descriptions as they are defined. So in this lesson, we're going to talk about why we have the master level descriptions goal. And then we'll actually look at what the BJCP has published in defining what a master level description is. So let's get on with that first part. Master level descriptions. What are we talking about? We are talking about the top type of description that you can write on your score sheet in our exam. Master level descriptions are going to be our goal going forward. And the reason for that is simple. It's the most potential points. But having said that, I do not in any way want this to put any pressure on you, feeling like if every single thing you write on your score sheet isn't master level, the exam is a failure. What I want you to do is try to write a master level description, because just with the attempt, just with trying to hit that level, even if we fall short, we're easily well above the minimum, and we're going to likely add a few more points from our descriptors to a few more final points on our exam score, I should say, from our descriptors by trying to reach that level rather than just going into it without any plan at all. But that being said, we do not want to make up characteristics that we're not experiencing just to add more words. If you're the only one who's noting some kind of characteristic and it's not something you actually perceive but you thought should be there or thought others are going to perceive, that's going to work against you, and that's counterproductive to what we're trying to achieve. So if you are one or two words short on that master level goal and really have nothing else that you can note without 100% confidence, leave it where you're confident. I've said this many times, and I'll continue to say this: do your best and you should be fine. Now that we've explained why we're doing this, what is a master level description? This is actually defined in the BJCP score sheet guide for graders. The master level for descriptions is defined in terms for our exam. Let's take a look directly from the source at what that definition is. It starts with at least 5 descriptive adjectives or phrases are used to describe the aroma of the beer. It goes on to say at least 3 descriptive adjectives or phrases are used to describe the intensity of the aromatic components of the beer. At least 3 descriptive adjectives or phrases are used to describe the appearance of the beer. At least 5 descriptive adjectives or phrases are used to describe the flavor of the beer. At least 3 descriptive adjectives or phrases are used to describe the intensity of the flavor components of the beer. And at least 3 descriptive adjectives or phrases are used to describe the mouthfeel of the beer. One important component here, and it's actually underlined by them for the same reason I'm probably going to point out, though it doesn't actually say it in the score sheet: descriptive adjectives or phrases. You don't have to throw in all your adjectives on one sentence. You could have multiple components you want to comment on that have high intensities or low intensities, and right there you're going to be splitting your adjectives between 2 sentences. Maybe you're going to have one for every adjective you're going to describe. All depends on the beer. You don't have to make a very wordy 1-sentence description to describe everything. You just want to make sure you're describing everything best you can is really what it's going to come down to in the end. So we're going to take a look at what this exactly looks like in the next lesson, as far as what a description written adhering to these goals looks like in the end. Seeing the examples, I think, are going to make this much clearer. So don't spend too much time on memorizing this. Just know kind of roughly the idea of behind what we're going to look at in the next lesson. But until then, I am going to end with one important thing here. There are a total of 22 opportunities to use descriptive adjectives or phrases. If you try to hit all those 22 bullseyes, you may hit some, you may miss some, but the fact that you're aiming for it is going to get you a lot closer than just blindly going into this without any kind of plan. So keep all this in mind. we're going to take a look at what these look like in practice. It'll make a lot more sense in the next lesson. In fact, without any further ado, let's wrap up lesson 1 and go over to lesson 2. I'll see you in that next lesson.